She didn't just break my heart, she shattered it. Then handed the pieces to our daughter and told her to throw them away. My name's Ethan. I'm 46 years old. I fix pipes for a living. And on my birthday, the woman I built a life with stood in front of her friends, looked me in the eye, and said, "You were never meant to stay." But the truth? It didn't start that night. It started months before. With a lie. A hotel receipt. A text message I wasn't supposed to see. And I should have walked out then. But I didn't. Because I loved her. Because I believed in us. Because I thought I could fix it, like I fix everything else. I was wrong. It started small. Like most betrayals do. Mira, my wife of 18 years, had always been private with her phone. But it got worse. She started locking it with a password I didn't know. She'd take it into the bathroom. She'd answer calls in another room. I didn't think much of it at first. People change. We get busy. But then came the nights. She started working late. Client dinners, she said. Team meetings. Networking events. But her car would come home at 2 a.m., and she'd smell like wine and perfume, not hers. One night, I found a receipt in her coat pocket. A hotel. 40 miles away. Charged on our joint credit card. Date, February 14th. Our anniversary. I stared at it. Heart pounding. I didn't want to believe it. So I asked her. She laughed. It was a work emergency. One of the managers got sick. I had to stay overnight to handle payroll. I wanted to believe her. So I did. But a week later, I saw her texting someone. She was smiling, laughing, typing fast. Then she saw me, locked her phone, and said, "Just a work group chat." I didn't say anything. But that night, I waited until she fell asleep, picked up her phone, typed in her old password, the one she used to use. It still worked. I opened her messages. And there it was. A thread. With a man named Drew. Photos. Inside jokes. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. I miss your hands on me. I wish he was gone. He? That was me. My stomach dropped. I felt sick. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. I wanted proof. So I started watching. I didn't want a big birthday. Never did. But Mira insisted. "We're doing something nice," she said. "Just us. Low-key." I believed her. She ordered food from some fancy fusion place. The kind with names I couldn't pronounce. Poured wine for everyone, except me. Then invited her new circle, people I didn't know, didn't trust. I stood in the corner with a flat soda, feeling like a stranger in my own home. Our daughter, Jenna, was there with her friends. 17 years old. Used to call me Daddy when she was little. Now she barely looked at me. One of her friends asked, "Wait, is that your dad?" Jenna looked up from her phone, smirked, and said, "Yeah, that's him." Then turned and said, "He's a plumber. Fixes toilets. Thinks that makes him important." They all laughed. She laughed. And then she said it, loud enough for the whole table. "You're nothing." I looked at her. This girl, the one I carried on my shoulders at the fair. The one I held when she broke her arm. The one who used to say, "You're my hero, Daddy." Now I was just a joke. But it didn't stop there. Mira raised her glass, calm as ice, and said, "Well, it's time you knew the truth." She nodded across the table to a guy in a tailored jacket I hadn't even noticed. "This is Drew. He owns 2 restaurants downtown." She paused, smiled. "And he's been with me for over a year now." The room went quiet. I felt the blood leave my face. She kept going. "He's the man I've been waiting for. You? You were always just temporary. I stayed because of Jenna. But now I'm free." I didn't move. Didn't speak. Couldn't. Drew looked at me like I was a bug on his shoe. Mira didn't even flinch. Jenna was still laughing. I stood up. Walked upstairs. Packed one duffel bag. Took my tools. My license. My father's old watch. Left everything else. And when I walked past them on the way out, I didn't say a word. I just looked at Mira. And for the first time, I saw her for who she really was. Not my wife. Not the mother of my child. Just a woman who'd been lying to me for over a year. And when that front door clicked behind me, peace. 30 minutes later, I was sitting in my truck at the edge of a dark park. My phone blew up, 29 missed calls. 1 from Jenna. 2 from Mira. 26 from unknowns. And the last one, from Drew. I turned it off. Then smiled. Because I already knew one thing. They thought they'd won. But I wasn't done. I didn't go to a motel. Didn't crash on a friend's couch. I stayed in my truck. Slept in the back seat outside a 24-hour laundromat. It was cold. It was hard. But it was mine. For the first time in years, I could breathe. The next morning, I drove to a diner near my old neighborhood. The kind that gives free coffee refills and doesn't rush you out. I sat in a corner booth, ordered black coffee, same color as the thoughts in my head. I didn't want revenge. Not yet. I wanted to understand. How could she do it? After 18 years? After everything I gave her? I built the house. Paid off her student loans. Went to every parent-teacher meeting. Worked overtime so she could quit her job and find herself. And she repaid me with lies. But if there's one thing working in sewage teaches you, it's how to deal with filth. So I opened my laptop, connected to the diner's Wi-Fi, and started researching. Not just divorce lawyers. I looked for reputation experts, forensic accountants, tax auditors, private investigators. I found one named Cole, ex-cop, now runs his own firm, specializes in quiet burns, cases where one spouse is about to make a move but needs proof, leverage, and deniability. I called him, met him the next day, hired him on retainer, told him, I want everything. Texts, photos, financials, lies. I want to know how deep this goes. He said, give me a week. 3 days later, Cole called. Got something. He met me at a gas station parking lot. Handed me a folder. Inside, photos of Mira and Drew, hotel receipts, text messages, and a list of bank transfers. Over $12,000 from our joint account moved to a new account under Drew's name. All within the last 6 months. But the worst part? A video. From a security camera at a motel. Mira and Drew walking in laughing, holding hands, kissing. It was taken on our anniversary. I didn't cry, didn't scream. I just sat there, staring at the screen, feeling the last piece of my heart turn to stone. Cole said, there's more. Drew's restaurants? 2 of them are in deep debt. One was built on land that wasn't zoned for business. They've been underreporting income for years. And Mira? She's been listed as a financial partner on several documents. If the IRS investigates, she could be on the hook. I smiled, then said, let's make sure they do. I didn't confront her. I didn't post anything. I didn't yell. I waited. I let her move Drew into my house. Let her wear his ring. Let Jenna post videos calling him Dad. And while they celebrated, I worked. I sent the evidence, anonymously, to a tax lawyer. Added a tip to a local business reporter. Made sure Myra's name was linked as a financial beneficiary. Then I went after the money. Every credit card they were using? Still in my name. I'd frozen them quietly. Then reactivated them, just long enough for them to feel safe. Then I cut them off. Right in the middle of dinner at a $300 steakhouse. They left with a $700 bill they couldn't pay. The waiter took a photo. It ended up on Yelp. Caption: couple throws fit after cards declined. Woman screams, my husband will cover it. Spoiler, he didn't. 2 weeks later, the IRS opened an investigation. The story broke in the paper. Restaurant owner under tax fraud probe, partner named in documents. Myra's face was on the front page. Her boss suspended her. Her friends vanished. Jenna's influencer dreams? Gone. Drew started pulling away. Then disappeared. Mira called me. 28 missed calls. Then a voice message. I don't know what you've done, but please, we need to talk. You're destroying everything. I didn't reply. Instead, I sent her a photo. From our anniversary dinner. Me smiling. Her raising a glass. Under it I wrote, "You toasted to your freedom. Now drink it to the last drop." 1 month later, I went back. Not to fight. Not to gloat. To close the door. I walked into the house. It was empty. Furniture gone. Pictures gone. Even the curtains were stripped. Mira sat on the floor, phone in hand. Jenna was upstairs, crying. I held up a small velvet box. Her wedding ring. I'd fished it out of the sink the night I left. Set it on the table. Then handed her a check. For $1. "This is your share," I said. "After debts, taxes, and court settlements." She looked up. "You're taking everything?" "I'm taking what's mine," I said. "You took everything when you lied." I turned to leave. And just before closing the door, I said, "You said I was temporary. Now you're the one left behind." 1 year later. I live in a small cabin by the lake. No noise. No chaos. Just the wind, the water, and the quiet. I got a new contract with a construction firm. They hired me as a senior plumbing engineer. Respect, pay, dignity. And I met someone. Her name's Claire. She doesn't care that my hands are rough. She says they're honest. She says I'm honest. On my desk, there's a note from Jenna. 6 months old. "Dad, I'm sorry. I was young and stupid. I miss you." I haven't replied. Maybe I will someday. Maybe not. For now, I've earned the right to be free. I open the back door every morning. Let the sun pour over me. I wasn't nothing. I wasn't temporary. I was the man who survived the betrayal. Who didn't break. Who rebuilt. And walked away. Not broken. But stronger.